Best versus the best.
Absolutely right.
Let's make best fight in boxing.
And you and Tank is a fight that should happen. It absolutely should happen. You know, and I believe it will. I mean, you guys are both in charge of your career. I think it's a good style matchup. Like you said, the networks are out of the way. The promoters are out of the way. You know, he's flexible, you're flexible. I don't see why it wouldn't happen. When you guys meet, how does that fight play out?
I ain't gonna give you no games.
You think I'm gonna jump on the phone with Tank right after?
No, I would tell you this. I'm gonna come out victorious.
Okay. Yeah.
That's what I stand by.
All right, what's good, what's good, what's good? It's your boy Fanon, man, and I am happy this fine Sunday morning as reports are coming out and debates are taking place about Shakur Stevenson and Gervonta Davis fight in September.
Okay, so before I say what I'm about to say, just know that after this video, boxing will never look the same to you again. And I mean that in the most unsettling, most addictive, most why is nobody talking about this way possible. Because what is allegedly happening behind the scenes.
Work together. Am I in the plans? Because I want the fight.
I'll tell you this. Tank has definitely said repeatedly, I want to fight Shakur.
So
I want to fight Shakur.
If that's the case, if I'm a free agent now, I'm doing whatever I want, I'm on here fighting these guys, am I in the plans? Like, is this 6-fight deal something that's real, or was that like...
No, he's definitely got a plan. And like, you know, there's a lot of fighters which are sort of in group. You sort of say, okay, here's the list of fighters that I'm planning on fighting. It might be 6 fighters, it might be 4, it might be 8. But when you lay out a plan like that, a deal like that, you know, it's sort of like, okay, sometimes it's like 8 fighters, even though it's 6 fights, because not everybody's available all the time. So Shakur is definitely in that plan.
Okay.
You know, and
I'm there, so it's gonna happen.
Shakur just want to know why Jake Paul skipped the line. Let's get to the meat of it.
Between Shakur Stevenson and Gervonta Davis is not just a fight announcement. It is reportedly a full power struggle that has promoters sweating, networks allegedly panicking, and insiders whispering that the real reason this fight keeps getting delayed has absolutely nothing to do with the fighters themselves.
Everybody want to see that. That's the 50-50. I think, you know what I'm saying? I've been saying 50-50. I told both of them that. That's a toss-up to me. No bias. Don't just say that because it's your man. Who you got winning that?
I got Shakur.
Are you saying that because that's your man and you don't like Tank?
No. Hey, like I said, I respect Tank. Like, boxing, he's one of the ones.
Yeah.
We're gonna take his personality and personal things out of it. But boxing, he's definitely talented. You know what I mean? And he's definitely got that it. And yeah, he's definitely respected in boxing. But Shakur's a different fighter. You know, Shakur's different. You know, people may call him boring. People may say he can't punch. But they say the same thing about Floyd. Because they defensive fighters.
Yeah.
Tank is not going to be able to hit Shakur like he hit everybody else. And he know that. Tank is great for what he do. And I respect Tank in the ring and his skills and his power and his attribute. And he's smart.
Yeah.
He's definitely smart. He can box his ass off. And I'm not saying I would pick Shakur just because our differences. I'm telling you as a fighter.
Yeah.
I will pick Shakur because I don't believe Tank will be able to land those big shots on Shakur like he does everybody else.
Right.
Shakur defense is just too tight. And not only Shakur.
And everything to do with who controls the money, the narrative, and the throne of the entire lightweight division. But hold on, because before we even get to the bombshell that reportedly dropped in a private conversation that somehow made its way online, we need to start from the beginning, which is that Shakur Stevenson sat down in a live interview, looked directly into that camera with the kind of calm that only a man who allegedly knows something looks like.
No, Gervonta.
Yeah. Gervonta Davis?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a good fight. That's a good fight. I like to go with Tank because of the, you know, everyone's going to go with Tank, you know, but it would be a very interesting fight.
How could, for us that are not boxing analysts, How could Shakur beat him if he can't hurt him? That would be my question.
Listen, you don't have to hurt him, you just have to outscore him. You know, Shakur takes a good shot, though. You know, he's a specialist. That's why some fights that he doesn't look good in, because he's so superior. And it's boring watching sometimes. But he's a specialist. He knows what he's doing. He's hard to beat.
So when the speed picks up and the aggression starts,
to bring out the best in Shakur, you gotta pressure him like Tank. Tank will bring out the best of him, and we'll see a great fight. Tank is just a monster right now.
And said, without hesitation, without a single blink, that if he fights Gervonta Davis, he wins. Full stop, no debate. And the internet did not walk. It sprinted into chaos because fans are saying, this wasn't just confidence. This was allegedly a message, a signal, maybe even a warning. And that's where the story starts getting dangerously interesting. Because simultaneously, reports suggest that Davis had already included Stevenson in his future fight plans, which means both men are circling each other like they've already agreed to something the public hasn't been told yet. And now insiders are speculating that 2026 is the target year.
Takes place. And I'm going to tell you right now, man, that there's going to be a lot of people that are going to work very hard for this not to be true. They're not going to want it to be true, and they are going to try to lay all kind of crap out in front of everybody to make sure that this fight doesn't take place.
These experts argue that rival networks, promoters, and vested interests could obstruct progress, fearing the bout's magnitude might disrupt existing business models.
That's a system. They are not these people are bought and paid for. We already know that. So the people that they support want Shakur Stevenson to go up to 147 to fight guys like Conor Benn, to fight guys like whoever at 147 pounds, right? But what will that make Shakur? Let's just be real. What does that make Shakur? That is going to make Shakur basically...
Which sounds clean and straightforward, until you realize that in boxing, a target year is allegedly code for we're negotiating and nobody wants to blink first. And this is where it gets worse. Because allegedly the business politics surrounding this fight are so tangled, so layered with promoter interests and network rivalries, that multiple insiders have reportedly warned that the very people who should be pushing this fight are the ones allegedly creating the most friction behind closed doors. And you need to sit with that for a second, because what that means...
Business. You get fighters, they go back and forth on Twitter, and they be like, let's fight. You gotta put the business in between that, because fighters will be fighting all the time just because they arguing back and forth. But the business gotta make sense. So it's always about the bag. So that's why I feel like Turk Al-Sheikh come in, because he'll say, hey, here go the money, get these fights to happen. That's why I can't believe that Bud have to move up 2 weight classes to fight Canelo, and David Benavidez was right there at 168 comfortably. That's why the business of boxing took over. But I respect Shakur for actually saying he want to fight. Where is he at in the 6 fight deal? And where is he at in the 6 fight deal? Is his 3rd fight or something like that with Tank?
It's a good question.
It's early. It might be 2 or 3 fights in.
You sure you're not freestyling?
If the reports are accurate, is that the most anticipated fight in boxing might be getting quietly slowed down by the same industry that publicly claims to want it. And that narrative flip alone should make you question everything you've heard about this matchup so far. But wait, because breaking, and I use that word loosely and entertainingly, fans online are now allegedly circulating a theory that the fight's delay isn't accidental, that it's allegedly strategic, that someone in a very expensive suit in a very expensive office reportedly benefits more from the anticipation of this fight than from the fight itself, because anticipation sells pay-per-views, anticipation sells sponsorships.
Tio was the hot fight that just happened, and now Shakur, obviously a hot fighter with his dominant win. Give me the one fight you would love to see 2 guys right now who are in their prime.
Off of that victory this weekend, I would love to see Shakur and Gervonta. You know, I think Gervonta and anybody in any of the top guys at that weight class is a great fight. Gervonta, Shakur, Gervonta, Tio, Gervonta, Keyshawn. I mean, that 135 to 140 pound weight class is hot right now. You know what I mean? But that would be a great fight. I think probably that would be one of the fights that would be the most anticipated. You know, if they can make happen, Gervonta Davis and Shakur Stevenson. by no means would be easy for either fighter. You know, we just seen that Shakur Stevenson was able to shut a great fighter like Teofimo down and made him look silly. So that would be a great fight, you know. And a big shout out to Shakur Stevenson becoming a 4-time division champion. You know, he's on legendary status.
Anticipation keeps both fighters relevant and both brands valuable. And if that theory holds even a grain of truth, then Shakur and Gervonta are allegedly being used as chess pieces in a game neither of them fully controls. Which is wild when you remember that Shakur walked into that interview radiating the energy of a man who absolutely believes he controls everything. And maybe that's the whole point. Maybe that confidence is itself a negotiation tactic. A public pressure campaign designed to force Davis's camp to respond, to react, to commit. Because when Terrence Crawford,
Tank Davis is the best fight in boxing to be made. I think it happens next year.
Break down each one of these fighters, extraordinary fighters, historical fighters, strength. No, break down what is each one's strength.
Yeah.
And what is each one weakness.
I think I think out of the three of them, I actually like Shakur the most. Because again, when I can look at you and not see what you see, to me that is extraordinary. Shakur is, again, it's like he's been there before. I watched him move in the ring, and he moves before the guy even throws his punch. You know what I mean? Like I saw him do that, and then to see him do that in live time in actual fights. There's a difference between sparring and doing what you do in sparring, and then being that comfortable in a fight. A lot of guys don't come to the ring as comfortable as Shakur is.
Once the headgear come off in them,
and he mean too.
Yeah.
And he mean too. You know what I mean? I think that's the best thing that Shakur got going for him is his reflex.
Steps forward and publicly backs Stevenson to win, arguing that Shakur's elite defense and otherworldly ring IQ would allegedly neutralize Davis's entire power game before Tank even gets comfortable. That is not just an opinion. That is reportedly a declaration of alignment in a sport where allegiances mean everything. And Crawford backing Stevenson publicly is allegedly being read by insiders as a signal about deeper loyalties in the sport's political landscape, which we are absolutely going to unpack. But first, because this script has no chill and neither do I, we need to talk about the moment Mike Tyson entered this conversation. Because when the most iconic name in boxing history says that Stevenson doesn't need a knockout, that he could systematically outscore Davis with skill and movement alone.
You've left the sport in good hands, and I believe you have as well. What are 3 fights that you want to see happen this year across any division?
It's tough to say because there are so many big fights to be made. I would love to see Tushan Davis versus Devin Haney. I would love to see Bam versus Inouye. I would love to see Shakur versus Tank Davis.
Crawford has openly criticized Davis, suggesting he knows he cannot defeat Shakur Stevenson. Crawford believes Tank downplays Shakur's achievements and labels him boring as a way to avoid fighting him. He argues this is a deliberate tactic to protect his reputation rather than face a stylistically difficult opponent. According to Crawford, Shakur's elite defense and ring IQ make him a dangerous matchup that Tank would struggle with, especially since he may not be able to land clean punches. He has repeatedly backed Stevenson to win, saying Tank cannot match his technical ability. Shakur Stevenson has long pursued the fight, but it has yet to materialize, fueling ongoing debate about whether Gervonta Davis is intentionally avoiding the challenge.
He knows that. That's why he's like, he's boring, he's this, he's that. He's trying to diminish everything that Shakur have done, so it's not marketable. But he can't do that because Shakur is what, 3-weight world champion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
you see right now.
like how many actual real titles have Shakur? I mean, Tank had like what, 2?
Yeah, I think 2. He got
real,
WBA right
real
now.
titles.
The real one.
You know, and Pedraza, he drained Pedraza. And,
oh, that's what Keyshawn said. But I feel like if you're the A side, you get the, like, you know what I'm saying?
I'm just saying, but like, let's do it on a even playing field. Like, give that man enough time to train. You know what I mean? Like, come on.
What Tyson is allegedly doing is dismantling the one narrative that Davis's entire brand is built on, which is the idea that his power is so devastating, so final, so appointment television, that no technical fighter can survive it long enough to win on points. And Tyson saying otherwise is allegedly the equivalent of someone whispering that the Emperor has no clothes. Except the Emperor in this scenario reportedly has a left hook that has ended careers, and Tyson knows that better than anyone. So the fact that he's still backing the technical route is either extraordinary analysis and fans online are absolutely saying this. Allegedly part of a broader media campaign to build Stevenson's underdog credibility before the fight. Because a Stevenson who shocks the world sells more than a Stevenson who was always supposed to win. And this is the part of the
boxing and he get a lot of knockouts that people kind of making it like, if you ain't doing what Tank doing, then they gonna say it's boring. Do you feel like it's because of how his style is that they kind of putting that on you, like wanting you to do that?
People is blessed with different ability. He's blessed with a God-given ability that he crack you 9 times out of 10, you gonna go down. That's his ability.
Yeah.
I'm blessed with God-given eyes. A lot of people don't understand how good my eyes is. I can see really good. Like punches come my way, I know how to get away from them at any given time. Our abilities are just different, so they probably are judging me from a scale of him, but at the end of the day, he's a great fighter. He's a special fighter. But
Has there been any talks with Tank's team?
they reached out, but we told him to come back with an offer. And as far as that, we ain't heard nothing since then. Me and him fighting each other, we'll seal the deal on the kings of that division, the kings of this era, the kings of everything. So, like I've been saying it for years, the moment is gonna come, and when it happens, I'll be ready.
Why does Shakur Stevenson beat Gervonta Davis?
Because that I'm a better skilled boxer. I mastered the art of hitting and not getting hit, and he will be the person that will have to change up his style. He can't go out there and box and lose rounds. He would have to change up his style and just become full blast aggressor to try to
story where everything you thought you understood about this matchup allegedly flips completely. Because what if the 50-50 narrative the experts are split framing, the whole Davis has power, Stevenson has skill breakdown that every analyst, including Sean Porter, has been running with? What if that narrative is engineered? What if both camps have allegedly allowed that balanced framing to exist because it serves both fighters commercially, keeping Davis's knockout mystique intact, while simultaneously elevating Stevenson's technical reputation to superstar level? And if that's true, then this fight isn't just a boxing match, it's allegedly a co-produced spectacle where even the uncertainty is part of the product. And I need you to understand how significant that would be if even partially accurate, because it would mean that the best fight in boxing, as Porter allegedly called it, is also allegedly the most carefully managed fight in boxing, a distinction that changes everything about how we watch, how we bet, and how we talk about whatever happens.
And that just from a fighter, you know what I mean?
No, I got you.
Tank is my youngin', but I just wanted to know from a fighter's perspective, do you ever see, when you talk about two of the best fighters in boxing, forget about all the bullshit that he's dealing with, boxing, will we ever see that? That's where I was coming from.
No, I got you, but like I said, if any fighter have an issue with me, because I feel like Tio was jealous of me. I told him this several times. Any fighter have any issue with me,
let's do it.
Sign the contract, turn the lights on bright, let millions come around the seats to see what's happening, and pull up
on Fight Night. And speaking of Fight Night, let's talk about what's actually at stake here beyond the belts, beyond the bragging rights, because reportedly the fighter who wins this matchup doesn't just win a boxing match, they allegedly inherit Gervonta Davis's entire audience if Davis loses, or they allegedly cement Davis as the face of the sport for the next decade if Stevenson loses. Meaning the loser of this fight faces a career crossroads so significant that insiders are reportedly already discussing what both men's plan B looks like, which is not a conversation you have about a routine title fight. That is a conversation you have about a generational moment. And here's the twist that has allegedly been floating around in boxing circles that nobody in mainstream media has fully addressed. Yet, reports suggest that Stevenson's team knows that a win over Davis doesn't just make Shakur a champion. It allegedly makes him the name, the draw, the pay-per-view star that the sport has been searching for since the golden era ended, which means Stevenson allegedly has more to gain from this fight than almost any fighter in recent memory, which reframes his public confidence not as arrogance, but as allegedly calculated destiny. A man who has reportedly mapped out exactly what this win would mean and is walking toward it with terrifying intentionality. And now here comes the final twist, the one that allegedly nobody saw coming, the one that reportedly leaked from a conversation between two people who were definitely not supposed to be recorded. And that twist is this. Allegedly, there are reports circulating among a small group of insiders that both fighters' teams have already had preliminary conversations, that a framework allegedly exists, that the fight is reportedly closer to being real than any public statement has suggested, and that the entire public back and forth, the interviews, the social media energy, the analysts' debates, is allegedly already part of the promotion, meaning you, me, every fan losing their mind over this matchup on the internet. We are allegedly already inside the marketing campaign for a fight that may already be signed in spirit, if not yet on paper. Which means the question you need to be asking yourself right now isn't whether this fight happens. Allegedly it does. The question is whether anything you've heard about it, from either camp, from any analyst, from any legend who weighed in, was ever fully unscripted. And if the answer to that question is no, then who exactly is writing the script? And more importantly, are they writing yours too?